Right, welcome to this review for the Thousand Suns Chaos Space Marine. So we take a look at the index cards here, faction rules, unit stats, and so on here in this review and Tactica. So before review, I'll try and go through all the stats, all the units, and take a look at what's good and what's not. Thousand Suns, perhaps one of the largest impacts from 10th, just with the change up with the psychic phase is now gone. Everything is incorporated with psychic powers into command phase, movement phase, different phases of the game. So it'll be interesting to see how that works for the Thousand Suns. I think it's a good idea. There was a lot of bloat in the psychic phase for the Thousand Suns, for the Grey Knights as well. Just with so many psychic powers going on, it was quite tedious. Hopefully, you've still got the variety and spice of the way they operate, but at the same time, simplified. It's all being well, we'll have to see. So it's very interesting to see how these have turned out with the new rules for 10th edition. For discount 40k, do check out the link in the video description below for the Outpost. That's Warhammer 40,000 discounted. It's other gaming systems as well. It's paints, accessories, and so on. When you use that link, it does help support the channel. So much appreciated if you can. So we'll look at the faction rules and stratagems and so on first, and then we'll take a look at the stats for the different units. So if you're not aware already, I've got a Thousand Suns army, so I'm looking very carefully here at the rules. So looks like they've retained Cabal points. So if your army, so this is the army rule, Cabal of Sorcerers. If your faction is Thousand Suns, at the end of the command phase, each model from your army with this ability that's on the battlefield, excluding battle-shocked models, alright, so you get shut down for that, generates you a number of Cabal points equal to the number shown in its ability. Each model with a Cabal of Sorcerer's 2 ability will generate you 2 Cabal points. So, Armament, Cabal of Sorcerers, 3. Just run along your stat lines of the models that are still alive, or units that are still alive. That gives you a total for your Cabal points. That's just straightforward. It's all in front of you. You don't have to flick through a book to find it. It's all on your stat lines. So it's all good enough so far. The combined total of these is your Cabal points pool. So that's your total number, say 18 for example. During the battle round, you can use rituals from the list below, deducting the Cabal points of each one from your Cabal points pool. If you do not have enough Cabal points for a ritual, you cannot use it. Each ritual can only be used once per phase. At the start of your next command phase, your Cabal points pool is reset to 0. And each time you use a ritual, select 1,000 Suns Psyker from your army, then apply that ritual's effect using that Psyker. Yep. So you've got a number of points depending on what units are alive, and then you spend them during your turn, and then it's wiped out at the end of your next command phase, and you just start again. Fine. So what are these abilities? There's 5 of them. First is Weaver of Fates. So what they've... Right, because there's so many psychic powers, it looks like they've brought them over into Cabal abilities. This is perhaps a clever way of retaining much of the variety of the psychic powers. They've brought these over into Cabal points, because these are all ones that we know here: Doom Bolt, Temporal Surge, Twist of Fate, Weaver of Fates. So for two Cabal points, nice and cheap. It's the cheapest. Is Weaver of Fates. Uses ritual at the start of any phase. Once during that phase, when a saving throw is failed for a friendly Thousand Suns model within 18 inches of the psych, you can re-roll that saving throw. So re-roll a save. Okay. Could help, you've got an important psyker or a Mauler Fiend trying to block, crucial damage coming through. So yeah, helpful enough for sure. Temporal Surge, 5 Cabal points. Use a ritual at the start of your shooting phase. Select on friendly Thousand Suns unit within 18 of this psyker. Unless the unit is in engagement range, one or more units, it can make a normal move. It's an extra move. And does it say there's any restriction? It doesn't say that it's infantry only. Well, all of a sudden, you can move twice and no restriction. Oh, well. Yeah, very interesting indeed. You can catapult some stuff forwards. This is quite significant, that one. Has to be on the shooting phase. Start of your shooting phase. Very interesting. Powerful. Echoes from the Warp next. Psychic ability as 6 Cabal points.
Use this ritual at the start of any phase. Once this phase, you can select the Psyker's unit as the target of a stratagem for 0 CP, even if you've already used that stratagem in this phase, so a free stratagem. Great. At the start of any phase. Very flexible here. If you get to know these are going to be very, very useful. Doombolt next. 7 cold points. Use this ritual at the start of your shooting phase. Select on a unit of an 18 invisible to the Psyker. Roll 1d6 and a 1. The unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. 2 to 5 is D3 plus 3. And a 6 is D3 plus 6 mortal wounds. Fine. Great. Doombolt. Fantastic. Whew. Twist of Fate. 9 cardboard points. Use the ritual at the start of any phase. Select on enemy unit of an 18 visible to the Psyker. At the end of the phase, armor saving throws cannot be made for models in that unit. Well. Don't mess with the Thousand Suns. Whoa, they're looking tasty. Very good. Powerful. They're to be feared. They are to be feared. That is fantastic stuff from them. So armor saving throws, not invulnerable saves. Is different, I believe. This is armor saving throws specifically, but still superbly powerful. Wow, brilliant. Cult of Magic then. Detachment roll. So that's your army, and then you're taking this detachment. There could be other detachments to come, no doubt. It's bound to be if they do the codex and so on. Kindred Sorcery. In your command phase, you can select one of the abilities listed below to take effect until the start of your next command phase. So you pick either of these, they don't burn out, you just can keep using them, repeat using them as well. Malevolent Charge. Psychic weapons equipped by Thousand Suns models in your army have the lethal hits ability, so 6 is to not critical wounds, 6 is to hit is auto wounding. Psychic Maelstrom. Psychic weapons equipped by Thousand Suns models in your army have the sustained hits, so 6 is popping extra hits. Excellent. Doombolt, it says brackets psychic, but then you're not rolling to hit, I suppose, so that's okay. But anyway, if you're rolling to hit, there'll be a number of ones where you're actually rolling to hit, like a shooting attack, so that'll apply to that one. And then Wrath of the Immaterium. Psychic weapons equipped by Thousand Suns models in your army have the Devastating Wounds ability. Nice. Okay. Right, so you pick those and just try and remember to keep tab of those during the game. But Thousand Suns looking good here. Looking really good. Very much liking the look of these. We've got enhancements and stratagems. Now, if we get some strong stratagems, I think Thousand Suns looking particularly good. Psychic Dominion for 1 CP. In any phase, just after an unit has selected its targets, 1000 Suns unit from your army that was selected as the target on one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. To the end of the phase, all attacks made against your unit with psychic weapons have hazardous ability, and all models in your unit have the Feel No Pain of 4+ against psychic attacks. Right, so you really are going to dominate with psychic stuff here. So brilliant level of protection. It's to the end of the phase as well, not just that one particular attack coming through, but just going to protect that unit. It's only 1 CP. These are all 1 CP here. Destined by Fate. In any phase when a saving throw is fouled by a Thousand Suns Psyker, you change it to damage 0. Brilliant. Devastating Sorcery. In your shooting phase, 1000 Suns Psyker unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase until the end of that phase. Each time one unit makes a psychic attack, you reroll the hit roll, and you can reroll the wound roll. Ha! God, these are dynamite. These are ensorcelled infusion. In your shooting phase, a 1000 Suns Psychic unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase. To the end of the phase, all Inferno Bolt Pistols, Bolt Guns, Combi Bolters, Inferno Combi Weapons equipped by models in the unit have the Psychic ability and a strength characteristic of 5. So you can make them psychic, and then you can go for your ability of cross here. Psychic weapons have sustained hits, so you can start buffing them and giving them bonuses and so on. So there's a method to the madness here with those. And there's 2 more on the back here. Sorcerous Might. Select 1000 Suns Psychic unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase. It's done in the shooting phase. To the end of the phase, add 9 inches to the range. Brilliant. Okay, generous enough. 9 inches coming through. Okay, and then Warp Sight for 2 CP. In your shooting phase, select 1000 Suns Psychic unit from your army or one enemy unit that is visible to that unit.
To the end of the phase, each time a friendly Thousand Suns Psycho model makes an attack with a psychic weapon that targets the enemy unit, that attack has the indirect fire and ignores cover rule. Again, psychic weapon. That's immensely powerful. Just plunge fire over the top of terrain, ignoring cover as well. Excellent. Very devious here. These are very, very strong. Enhancements. You can take up to 3 of these. They're going to cost you points. I can't go into points costs at this stage of filming, but they're going to cost you points. Usually 10, 15, 20, 25 points each. And you just pick and give them to characters. You can take a maximum of 3. Lord of Forbidden Law. Thousand Suns Psycho model only. The bearer can be selected to use a ritual, even if another Psycho from your army has already been selected to use that ritual this phase. Athenian Scrolls. Thousand Suns Psycho model for your army. In the command phase, if the bearer is on the battlefield and it's not battle shocks, generate an additional carbon point this phase. Okay, it's 1 extra, but that's okay. And then Umbrellific Crystal. Once to a battle, in your command phase, you can remove the bearer's unit from the battlefield. If you do, the reinforcement step your next movement phase. Set the unit back up anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 inches horizontally away from all enemy models. Yeah, very, very good indeed. Very, very useful indeed. Stick him in a unit in its psychos. Stick him in a unit of Terminators, for example, and disappear off the table. Arcane Vortex. Thousand Suns model only. Add 1 to the strength and damage characteristic of psychic weapons equipped by the bearer. And that again could be very useful indeed. So there, okay, enhancements look alright. I'm trying to avail myself of a few of those. Stratagems looking very, very useful, potent, cunning. The army roll for card points is excellent as well, and a little bit of bonus coming through Kindred Sorcery. So far, a strong start, I would say, for the Thousand Suns. Do let us know what you think in the comment section. If you're a Thousand Suns player tuning in, let us know what you think of the rules and how good or not you think the Thousand Suns are going to be. So we'll go through these. I'm not going to call it every part of the stat lines here, but we'll try and get a good grasp of what these are like. So we've got Arrowman here. I usually take mine on the disc. Oh, right, they've done like that. On foot. And then on the disc, which is how I usually run them. Movement 6 on foot. So 5 wounds to this model. Toughness 5, 3 up save. The Inferno Bolt pistol. We'll do this one now. It's range 12. 1 attack, 2 hit, strength 4, -1, 1 damage. Psychic Stalk. So it's precision. So you can go after characters. And it's a psychic weapon. Range 18. Thousand Suns sort of middle of the board type play with them with their psychic attacks, close combat options, and so on. Just control the center of the table, and they usually do well. 1 attack with this at. Oh dear. Oh, shooting. Yeah, sorry. Psychic attack. Yeah. So range 18. 1 attack, 2 hit, strength 6, -1 d6 damage. The Black Staff of Ahriman. Psychic. 5 attacks, 2 hit, strength 7, -1. 3 damage, they have retained that 3 damage. He's a 4+ invulnerable save. Rubric Lord, whilst this model is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, add 1 to the wound roll. Right. God, well, he's in my army. +1 to the wound roll for shooting and close combat. And then Arch Sorcerer of Tzeentch Psychic. Once per battle, you can select this model to use a ritual for 0 carbal points. That's good. I mean, you can use the 7 carbal, 9 carbal options. If you do, all the other rules for using rituals still apply. So yeah, he's good. But he's not, gone are the days of stacking up multi mortal wound like smite and all these different ones. It's going to operate a little bit different. It's going to be strong for buffing and helping units for sure. So on foot he can join Rubik Marines. That's it. Can't go with Terminators. Nightmare. Okay. All the same abilities, but a 10-inch move for being on the disc. It gets an extra wound as well. It stays at toughness 4, but it's 6 wounds now with that. Everything else is the same. It's not bad in close combat, radio damage 3. And again, it's Rubik Marines. How annoying. Okay. A Thousand Suns Land Raider. Yeah, we've put that in there.
So I'm not really going for this one. Toughness 12, movement 10, 2 up save, 16 wounds. It's just, I'll go through them briefly. I mean, Havoc Launcher, I've not called that out before. So range 48, D6 attacks, 3 hit, strength 5, minus 0, 1 damage. The Inferno Combi Bolter, rapid fire 2. Right, so they actually kept this one as pretty good. 2 attacks at 3 hit, strength 4, AP minus 1, not minus 2, but it's at least there's a little bit there. Damage 1. So if you do get to within half range, range 12, you are going to get your 4 shots come through. So there's it's not as bad a hit as I was thinking it might be. The Inferno Combi Weapon is anti-infantry, devastating wounds, range 24, 1 attack, strength 4, 4 hit, strength 4, minus 1, 1 damage. The Soul Shatter Laser Cannon is, that's like the side sponsor laser cannons. They are range 48, 2 shots, 3 hit, strength 12, minus 3 d6 plus 1 damage. And the Twin Inferno Heavy Bolter is 3 shots, rerolling your wounds, sustained hits 1, strength 5 minus 2, but just the 1 damage. And then the assault ramps, when you disembark after you make a normal move, you can still declare a charge. With that, Thousand Suns Land Raider. The Predator Annihilator, 11 wounds, toughness 10. Nothing really, just the laser cannon is still d6 plus 1. The Predator Twin Laser Cannon is stronger, it's strength 14, not strength 12, but it's still d6 plus 1 damage. It's twin links, rear on your wounds. That's about it. Annihilator, each time this model makes a ranged attack that targets a monster or vehicle, reroll damage rolls of 1. There's a little bit of help there. The Predator Destructor. Each time model makes a ranged attack that targets infantry, can improve the penetration characteristic by 1. That's the Destructor roll. The Autocannon, Predator Autocannon is 4 shots, range 48, 3 hit, strength 9, minus 1, and 3 damage. Rapid fire 2, so if you get to within 24 inches, you get 6 shots. That's a lot of shots. Okay. Nothing else on there really. A Rhino. You restore a wound in your command phase with self-repair. Not much to say about that one really. Chaos Spawn. Hideous Mutations is their attacks, which is d6 plus 2 attacks at forced hit, strength 5 minus 1, 2 damage. They do keep their 2 damage. Their movement 8, toughness 5, 4 up save, 4 wounds. You've got Feel No Pain built into them as well, 5 plus. And regenerating monstrosities at the start of each player's command phase. Model when this unit regains up to d3 lost wounds. 5 plus invulnerable save on them as well. And you have to take 2, you can't take 1, it's 2 in a unit. Thousand Suns Vindicator. I'm going to spend too long on this. The Vindicator Demolisher Cannon's blast weapon, d6 plus 3 attacks, range 24. 3 to hit, strength 14, minus 3, d6 damage. You've got Siege Shield. When making ranged attacks with its Demolisher Cannon, this model can target enemy units within engaged range of it, provided no other friendly units are also within engaged range of that enemy unit. In addition, when making ranged attacks, this model does not suffer the penalty to its hit rolls for being within engagement range. Nice. The Defilers, regular sort of case space marine stuff here. 5 plus invulnerable save, by the way. Not an invulnerable save on the vehicles. Toughness 10, 3 up save, 14 wounds. Does have the damage bracket, as do the other vehicles we've seen previously. The Scuttling Walker, each time this model makes a normal advance or fallback move. You can move over monster and vehicle models and terrain features that are 4 inches or less in height as if they were not there. And the Thousand Suns Defiler then. Defiler Cannon is blast weapon, range 48, d6 plus 3 shots. 3 hit, strength 10 minus 1, but 3 damage. It's not a bad weapon on. It's in the Havoc. Inferno, Reaper Auto Cannon we've seen. Twin Heavy Flamer, it's just Twin Link, Torrent ignores cover. Twin Inferno Heavy Bolter is 3 to hit, sustained hits, Twin Link, strength 5 minus 2, and 2 damage for that one. Twin Laser Cannon we've seen. The Defiler Claws gets 5 attacks, 3 to hit, strength 16, minus 3, and d6 plus 1 damage. But, you know, strength 16, oh wow, that's amazing. A
Rhino is toughness 9. So you'd still be on 3s to wound, even with strength 16. You'd need to be strength 18 to get 2s. So vehicles have got a lot tougher. The Defiler Scourge is extra attacks, 3 extra attacks, 3s to hit, strength 12, minus 1 and 2 damage. So it's not bad, that thing. It's equipped well enough. Right, Exalted Sorcerers. So who can they join? Only Rubik Marines. Oh, right. Well, this is gonna change things seriously. Yeah, we got problems. Well, Rubik Marines. I think I'm going to need more of them. I've only got 10. I'm going to need them as bases for my Psychers. Cold points of 2 for this guy. 4+ invulnerable save. Arcane shield. Blasters models leading the unit. Models in that unit have a 4+ invulnerable save. What the? Whoa. That's insane. Rebind Rubricate Psychic. In your command phase, if this model is leading the unit, you can roll 1d6 and a 1. The unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 2 to 5, you can return a destroyed bodyguard model to that unit. On a 6, you can return up to 2 destroyed bodyguard models to that unit. So yes, restoring models to play, 4+ invulnerable save is absolutely superb. 6-inch move, toughness 4, 5 win model, 3 up save. The Astral Blast with this as well is Blast, Devastating Wounds and Psychic. So Devastating Wounds, 6 to wound is the mortal wound instead of the normal damage. It's a blast weapon as well, range 18, d6 attacks, 2s to hit, strength 6, minus 2 d3 damage, that's potent enough. The Inferno Pistol we've seen, normal Plasma Pistol possibly, or Flame Pistol ignores cover torrent, d6 auto hit, strength 3, minus 1 damage. So Force Weapon, 5 attacks, 2s to hit, strength 6, minus 1, d3 damage. And the Prospering Kapesh, 4 attacks, 3s to hit, strength 5, minus 2 and 2 damage. Yeah, Exalted Sorcerers, absolutely fine. Finding units to attach them to is going to be the big problem. Because I was running like Araman of 3 Exalted Sorcerers, but that means I'm going to need a lot of Rubik Marines. Oh boy. Exalted, well, we'll find out soon what you can do. Again, the Exalted Sorcerer on a disc can only join Rubik Marines. Same toughness, 6 wounds though on this one. 12-inch move. Has the Arcane Fire. Same rolls. Force weapon. Same. 4+ invulnerable save. Now there is a change here. Instead of resurrecting mod, it's got Arcane Shield the same, 4+ invulnerable save, but he's got Binding Tendrils, Psychic. At the end of your movement phase, you can select one enemy unit of an 18, visible to the Psyker. Roll 1 dice. On a 1, the Psyker's unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 2+, to the start of your next movement phase, halve the move characteristics of models in that unit and have advance and charge rolls made for that unit. Okay, so it's to really tie an enemy unit down. Forge Fiend, which is the shooty option. Instead of the Mauler Fiend, it's the Forge Fiend. 12 wounds, 10 toughness 10, 3 up save, movement 8. So the Ectoplasma Cannon. It's a blast weapon. Range 36. D3 attacks. It's 3's to hit, strength 10, minus 3 damage. I think you get 2 of them. Yeah. And it's blast, so you really could hammer infantry hard with that one. If you go for the Hades autocannon, same range 36, 6 attacks, 3's to hit, strength 8, minus 1, 2 damage. And the Forge Fiend Claws, 3 attacks, 3's to hit, strength 6, AP 0, 1 damage. And the Forge Fiend Jaws, 5 attacks, 3's to hit, strength 7, minus 0, 1, 2 damage, sorry. Blazing Salvos. In your shooting phase, after this model is shot, select one enemy unit that was hit by one or more of those attacks till the start of the next turn. The enemy unit is suppressed. Whilst the unit is suppressed, each time model that unit makes an attack, it's minus 1 to the hit roll. And it's 5+ invulnerable, so built into this thing. And minus 1 to hit rolls when you've got 1 to 4 wounds remaining. Next is the Thousand Suns Hellbrute. Big Dreadnought. 8 wounds, 2 up save, toughness 9. 6-inch moves, it's quite slow. Heavy Flamer, Hellbreak Plasma Cannon, it's a blast weapon and hazardous. Range 36, D3 attacks, 3 hit, strength 8, -3 and 3 damage, all quite potent here. Inferno Combi Bolt we've seen. Missile Launcher is range 48, D6, 3 to hit with frag. It's a blast weapon, strength 4, AP 1 damage, or crack. 1 shot, needing 3. Strength 9, -2, D6 damage. Some multi-autos which we've covered before. Twin Auto Cannon, covered. Twin Inferno Heavy Bolter, we've covered. Twin Las Cannon, we've covered as well as the loadouts. Hellbrute Fist in close combat, 5 attacks at 3 hits, strength 12, -2, 3 damage. Very good. The Hammer is 5 attacks again, but 4 hits, strength 14, -3, D6 +1 damage. And the Power Scourge is 8 attacks, 3 hits, strength 7, -1 and 2 damage. So, Arcane Knowledge amidst babbling insanity, aura ability. Each time a friendly Thousand Suns. Each time a Thousand Suns, friendly Thousand Suns psychic model in 9 inches of this model is selected to use a ritual, you gain a carbon point. Okay, and the Hellbrute Fists. If it has 2 of the Hellbrute Fists, then they count as twin links. You're rerolling your wounds with the Hellbrute. Next is the Helldrake, which has been despised. We'll see how good this is here. Toughness 9, 3 up save, 12 wounds. The Bow Flamer now is a torrent weapon ignoring cover. D6 +3 auto hits, strength 6, -1 and 2 damage. And then the Helldrake Claws in close combat. It's devastating wounds and anti-fly. 5 attacks, 3 hits, strength 7, -1 and 2 damage. 5+ invulnerable save again built into this one. It has a damage bracket, 1 to 4 wounds, -1 to hit rolls. Flame Reaved. Each time this model ends normal move, you can select one enemy unit moved over during that move. At the end of their turn, models that unit cannot have the benefit of cover. Yeah, okay. The Infernal Masters. I've been told I should get this one. I don't have this model, so get a hold of him. Now, who can he join? Again, Rubik Marines. Forget about it. I need Rubik Marines. Seriously. Yeah, I need Rubik Marines. What can you do? It's just the way that things going to balance out here. You could run characters on their own, but they're going to get shot at and picked on. You have to be very careful with them. So tricky. We'll find out if you can do multiple small units of them as well to perhaps try and create better options or more options, like take your squad of 10, split it into a squad of 5. You might be able to do that. Inferno Master. 6-inch move, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 up save. Inferno Bolt Pistol, Screamer Invocation here. So Witchfire, Psychic Torrent, 18-inch range, 2d3 auto wounds, 2d3 auto hits, strength 6 -2, 1 damage, and the Screamer Invocation, Focus Witchfire, 2d6. It is Torrent and it is hazardous psychic, so 2d6 auto hits in range 18. Strength 6 -2 and 1 damage. So for cutting stuff down. 4 attacks of his force weapon at 3 hits, strength 6 -1 D3 damage. 2 points Carbon of Sorcerers. Malefic Maelstrom Psychic. Whilst this model's leading a unit, weapons equipped by models in the unit have the sustained hit, so 6 is popping extra hits. Fine. And then Glimpse of Eternity. Psychic. Once per turn, you can change the result of 1 hit roll, 1 reroll, 1 damage roll, or 1 saving throw made for this model to an unmodified 6. So there's that available as well. Hit roll, yeah, okay. Alright. Magnus the Red. Been told I should get hold of this model as well, just so that the Thousand Suns have got at least one sort of big thing that they can rely on. So 16 wounds, toughness 11, 14-inch move. The Gaze of Magnus, devastating wounds. Psychic. Range 24. 3d3 attacks, so averaging about 6-7 attacks. 2 to hit, strength 9, -2, 3 damage, brilliant. Zinch's Firestorm, Psychic Blast. This is Blast Weapon, D6 +3 attacks. 2 to hit, strength 5, -1, 2 damage. So a lot of stuff there, it's really good. And then in close combat, the Blade of Magnus, striking.
Devastating wounds, psychic, 7 attacks, 2 hit, strength 16, -3 damage. It's brute in combat. Blade of Magnus, sweeping, 14 attacks, 2 hit, strength 8, -1 damage. Impossible form. Yeah, rules here for Crimson King. Impossible form, psychic. Each time an attack is made against the psychic, excluding psychic attacks, subtract 1 from the attack's damage characteristic. Treason of Tzeentch. At the start of your opponent's shooting phase, you can select one enemy unit within 24 invisible to the Psyker. At the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by models in this unit have the hazardous ability. And then Timed Flux Aura, whilst a friendly 1,000 tons unit is within 6 inches of the Psyker, to add 2 to the move characteristic models in that unit. Yeah, because they can be slow, so it's helpful enough. And then 4 carbon points. Deep Striking. Unearthly Power. At the start of the battle round, select one of the abilities the Crimson King ability see left to start the next battle round. The model has that ability, or actually pick either of those 3. And then Lord of the Planet of the Sorcerers Aura, whilst a friendly 1,000 Sun Psychic unit is in 6 inches of this model. Each time one unit makes a psychic attack, add 1 to the hit and to the wound roll. Fantastic. Yeah, he's not bad. He is -1 to hit rolls when he's between 1 and 6 wounds left. Magnus is looking alright. He'll certainly be a bullet magnet. 4+ invulnerable save on him. Okay. Alright, next is the Maul of Fiend. Look, I've got 3 of these, so this will be interesting. 10-inch move, with possibly, by the looks of it, the potential to move twice. Toughness 10, 3 up save, 12 wounds. 5+ invulnerable save built in. So, you can go for the Lasher Tendrils, or you can take the Magma Cutters. Cutters. If you take Magma Cutters, they're Melter 2. They're quite potent. They're range 6, but use them up close. They are Melter 2, yeah. So 2 attacks, 3 hit, strength 9, -4, d6. d6 plus 2 damage if you get them through. In close combat, so the Lasher Tendrils is extra attacks. You get this instead. 6 attacks, 3 hit, strength 7, -1 damage. That's brilliant. And then Maul of Fiend Fists is 6 attacks at 3s. Fantastic. 14 strength, -2, d6 plus 1 damage. Yeah, really good. It's still a devastating close combat. Prophetic Hunters. You can target this unit with the Heroic Intervention Stratagem for 0 CP. And you can do so even if you've already used that stratagem on a different unit that phase, right? So it can intervene. It's got a 1 to 4 wounds left. -1 to hit rolls with that. But yeah, Maul of Fiends are good. Solid, still dangerous. The Metalics. The Mutalith Vortex Beast, which I've really too keen on getting one. It was previously quite good. Apparently people tell me it was quite good. 10-inch move, toughness 10, 4 up save, 5+ invulnerable save, by the way, 13 wounds for this thing. So the Warp Vortex is probably going to be quite good. Blast, first of all, which is Blast, range 24, d6 plus 3 attacks, 3 hit, strength 9, -2, 2 damage. Or you can go for Beam, which is Devastating Wounds, range 24, 1 shot, 3 hit, range 18, -4, d6 plus 6 damage. Oh, whoa. Or you can go for Torrent, which is Torrent ignoring cover, 2d6 auto hits at range 12, strength 6, -1 damage. Right, so very flexible, very useful weapon. That's excellent. It does have the damage brackets on it, 1 to 4 wounds left. The Betentacled Maw, 15 attacks at 3 hit, strength 7, -1 damage. And the Mutilith Claws, 5 attacks, 3 hit, strength 9, -2, 4 damage. Yeah, because it's really good. Built-in 5+ Feel No Pain on top of that as well. And then Mutating Vortex Aura. At the end of your movement phase, roll 1d6 for each unit within 6 inches of this model. On a 2 to 3, take a mortal wound. 4, 5, it's d3. On a 6, it's d6 mortal wounds. Each time an enemy unit of this ability must take a battle shock test on top of that as well. God, it's all stacking up for this thing. And then Immaterial Flare, or ability whilst 1,000 Suns Psychers within 6 inches of this model. Each time that unit uses a ritual that specifies a range, you can double that range whilst resolving that ritual. Wow. So yeah, it is really, really good. It's something very useful to have in the heart of your army, but it does have deadly demise of d6, so watch out if it does explode. There's all sorts of trouble. But yeah, it's particularly good. It's very good. Right, here we go. Rivet Marines. The number 1 question I got for these is... Yes, you can. So you can take squads of 5, squads of 10. That's your loadout you can go for.
any number can still take the... Oh. Any number of Root Marines can have their Inferno Bolt Gun replaced with Warp Flamers. One Root Marine's Inferno Bolt Gun can be replaced with a Soul Reaper. And then one Root Marine can be equipped with an Icon of Flame. Yes, little mini squads with Soul Reapers running around with Psychers attached. That's the way to play them. Looks like it. Giving them 4+ invulnerable save, restoring models. Very, very cool bodyguard. It's fantastic. Right, so... Carbon of Sorcerers 1. That's the Aspiring Sorcerer model only. So if that model dies, then you lose it for the unit. Bringers a change. Each time while this unit makes a ranged attack, reroll win rolls of 1. If the target of that attack is within range of objective marker, you can reroll win rolls instead. And then the Icon of Flame. Each time model this unit, bearer's unit makes a ranged attack. If a critical wound is scored, so 6 is to wound, improve the AP by 1. So yeah, you could take that. And then 5+ invulnerable save across the board for these. 2 wounds, toughness 4, 5-inch move, 3-up save. The Inferno Bolt Gun we've seen. Oh no, the Inferno Bolt Gun has been kept pretty good here. It's range 24, just straight attacks 2, so you're going to get your nice 2 shots even at longer range. 3 to hit, strength 4, -1 damage, so that's been kept pretty potent. Plasma Pistol Soul Reaper Cannon is 6 attacks, strength 6, -1 at 1 damage, 3 to hit. It's got devastating wounds on it as well. Of course, it's well worth taking those. Warp Smite is anti-infantry, devastating wounds and pistol. 2 attacks at range 18, 3 to hit, strength 4, -3 on 1 damage. It's like a mini smite previously. Warp Smite, yeah. And then Warp Flame Pistol. It's Torrent, ignores cover. D6 auto hits range 12, strength 3, -1, 1 damage. And the Warp Flamer ignores cover, Torrent, D6 auto hits range 12. Strength 4, -1, 1 damage. They get 2 attacks each in close combat. The Psychic gets 3 attacks of his Psychic Force weapon at 3 attacks, 3 to hit, strength 6, -1, and D3 damage. Okay, so I think there'll be nice, solid, dependable little units. Put your... Yeah. Okay, so that's the way they operate. Scattered Occult Terminators, who no one can join apparently, which just... Nightmare. Just no one joins them. It's a shame unless you've got... Nope. You'd have to be joined by a 1,000 Suns Sorcerer in Terminator armor is the way that would have to operate, I would imagine. So there you go. So there's some changes for the structure of your army here. 2-up save, toughness 5, 5-inch move, 3 wounds each. Carbon of Sorcerers for the Occult Sorcerer only. Implacable Guardians. Whilst this unit contains 1 or more Psycho models, each time attack is allocated against this unit. The strength characteristic of that attack is greater than the unit's toughness. Subtract 1 from the wound roll. 4+ invulnerable save built in for these. The Heavy Warp Flamer ignores cover, Torrent, range 12. D6 auto hit, strength 5, -2, 1 damage. The Hellfire Missile Rack. Range 36, 2 shots in 3s. Strength 10, -2, 3 damage. Quite good. It's pretty good, yeah. The Soul Reaper Cannon we've seen already. Warp Smite, seen that already. Except it's 3 attacks of this one. Range 18. And Inferno Combi Bolters. Rapid Fire 2. So you, again, you get in short range, like if you deep strike in, which they do get. You're going to get 4 attacks. At half range. Yeah, they're still good. You got the Force Weapon, 4 attacks of the Psycho. 3 to hit, strength 6, -1, D3 damage. And the Prosopine Kapesh, they're 3 attacks each. 3 to hit. This strength 5 still. It is AP -2, and it's kept this 2 damage. So it's a nasty weapon. Squads of 5 or 10. For every 5, you can take a Soul Reaper Cannon and a Heavy Warp Flamer. And for every 5, you can take a Hellfire Missile Rack. So I might revert back to my squads of 5 for those. Normal 1,000 Suns Sorcerer. Now, who can he join? Brimming Reigns again. Yep. So just a normal Sorcerer here. Whilst this model is leading a unit, weapons equipped with models in the unit have the lethal hits ability, so 6 is to hit auto wound. Illusions of Zinch. Whilst this model is leading a unit, you can only be selected as a target of a ranged attack if the attacking model is within 18. That unit.
Alright, okay. Illusions of Zinch. That's mighty powerful. So regular 1000 Sun Sorcerer is really good. You've got to get within range 18 to even target the unit. Fantastic. And then the Fires of the Abyss. It's a pistol. Sustained hits 3. 2d6 attacks. 2 to hit. Strength 5 minus 1 damage. Range 12. Fantastic weapon. Brilliant. We've seen all these other ones here. And the Force weapon is 4 attacks. 3 to hit. Strength 6 minus 1 damage. Brilliant. But where do you put them? Or do you take the risk and make them non-bodyguard? They can be targeted, but... Okay, 1000 Sun Sorcerer. So he can join the Terminators. It's a shame the limitations with that one. It is quite penalising. You know, that your Exalted Sorcerers can't join Terminators, for example, that kind of thing. So he's got 5 wounds, toughness 5-inch move, 2-up save. The Coruscating Flames, anti-monster 4+, anti-vehicle 4+, devastating wounds and psychic. Range 18, 3 attacks, 3 to hit, strength 4 minus 3 and 2 damage. Inferno Combi Bolter, Inferno Combi Weapon. The Force weapon is 5 attacks, the usual stat line for that, strength 6 minus 1 d3 damage. And the Kapesh 4 attacks of that one. It's 2 for the couple of Sorcerers. Empiric Guidance, whilst this model's leading a unit, weapons take their lethal hits, and they're marked by fate. In your shooting phase, you can select one enemy unit with an 18 visible to the model. To start of the turn, each time a friendly 1000 Suns model makes an attack that targets that unit, reroll a hit roll of 1. 4+ vulnerable save for him. Cultists, yeah, I run these just as fluff, just to block, or chaff, just to block stuff. Really need to go through these. They are scouts of a 6-inch move. They're pawns of fate as well. Each time this unit destroys an enemy unit. Ha! Not likely. On a 2+ you gain a CP. When this unit is destroyed, roll 1d6. On a 2+ you gain a CP. Ha! Well, there you go. You get a CP if they die. And you can take squads of 10 to 20. I'm not going to go through what they've got here. You can give them cultist firearms. It just gives you the stat line from there. Okay, so that's them. Just cannon fodder. But strangely useful. The Demon Prince. Yeah, I run the... A lot of people ask what the model is. It is the old Warhammer model from the Tomb Kings. And it's the Necro Sphinx, it's called. It's very rare. I had to track mine down overseas. You might still be able to find it, eBay. But it's particularly good because it's that Egyptian undead sort of theme. And it just fitted really well with the 1000 Suns scheme. So that's where that model came from. 7-inch move. I guess you can take it with wings, yeah, and it gets an 11-inch move. 2-up save, toughness 10. 10 wounds. It's got an Infernal Cannon. That's what you take. 6 attacks, need 2s, range 24, strength 5 minus 1, 2 damage. So it's Hellforged weapons, you can strike and sweep with them. 6 attacks, need 2, strength 8 minus 2, 3 damage. Brilliant. Or sweeping, which is 14 attacks at 2s to hit, strength 6 minus 0, 1 damage. It's 2 for Cabal of Sorcerers. Weave of Fate, Psychic. Once per battle at the start of any phase, you can select on friendly Rubik Marines or Terminators unit within 6 inches of this model. At the end of the phase, weapons equipped by models that you have precision. Gosh, you can wheedle out characters with that. Very useful. Glamour of Zinch, whilst a friendly 1000 Suns unit within 6 inches of this model, models that unit have the stealth ability. And shutting down, got minus 1 to hit rolls. 4+ invulnerable save. That's very, very useful. Now, without wings, right? Totally different. Decisions to make whether to run with wings or not. So you get extra move with wings. 11 inches. You drop your toughness, so to toughness 9. You same number of wounds, same save. Same at loadouts. Still Cabal of 2, but then you've got 2 different powers here. Still keep the 4+ invulnerable, so you've got 2 different powers. Sorceress Fire. Each time this model makes a normal move, you can select one enemy unit it moved over this phase and roll 9d6 for each 6. It's a mortal wound, so interesting. And then Alpha Stride. At the end of your opponent's turn, if this model is not within engagement range of any enemy units, you can remove it from the battlefield, and then at the reinforcement step of your next movement phase, Set it up anywhere on the battlefield. It's more than 9 inches horizontally away from enemy models. If the battle ends and this model is not on the battlefield, it's destroyed. Okay, so relocate. Available with him. Zangor Enlightened. They're mightily impressive models. I think these are the ones that are flying around on the floaty things, I think. With the bows. Yeah, the great bow. 10-inch move. Toughness 4. 2 wounds. 5 up save. 6+ invulnerable save. So they've got auto pistols. They've got the Fate Caster great bows. It's lethal hit. So 6 is auto wound. It's precision as well. 2 attacks at range 30. Forced hit strength 5 -1 and 2 damage. You can give him chainswords, close combat weapon, and divining spear, which is a lance. +1 to wound on the charge. It's precision. You can go after characters. 3 attacks. Forced hit again. Strength 5 -2, 1 damage. And then malign trickery. Once per turn, an enemy unit ends normal advance fallback move in 9 inches of this model. If this unit is not in engagement range of enemy units, you can make a normal move up to D6 if it were your movement phase. You can try and pull away. And then in one save, already said. Squads of 3 or 6. Got the Zangor Shaman. 10-inch move. 4 wounds. Leader of Enlightened or regular Zangors. 6+ invulnerable save. Bestial profit whilst this model is leading a unit. Each time model that unit makes attack, you reroll hit rolls of 1. Sorry, you can add 1 to the hit rolls. And then Dark Blessing. Well, actually, definitely take him just to make their bows that much better. Whilst this model is leading a unit, models that unit have 5+ feel no pain. You definitely take him. God. If you're going to be serious about the Zangor Enlightened, then you take the Shaman. Because there's 2 really good buffs from him. You'll keep up with them nicely. Mutating Orbs. Blast, devastating wounds and psychic, d6 attacks, 3 hit, strength 9, AP 0, 1 damage, range 18, and the stave in close combat, 3 attacks, 3 hit, strength 5 -1 and d3 damage. And last but not least is the Zangors, the blue chickens, which have served me well. As their toughness 4, 6 up save, 6+ invulnerable save. Oof, so they've taken a little bit of a hit, 1 wound. 6-inch move, auto pistols, chainswords, Zangor blades. So chainswords, they're 3 attacks each. 4s, strength 4, 0, 1 damage. The Zangor blades is less attacks, it's 2 attacks. 4s to hit, strength 5 -1, 1 damage. Relic Hunters, the end of your command phase. Roll 1d6 for each objective marker you control that has 1 or more units from your army with this ability in range of each. For each 4+, you gain a carbon point. Oh, you can use them to harvest carbon points. Herd Banner, you can reroll Battle Shock tests taken for the bearer's unit. And the Brayhorn, you can reroll advance and charge rolls made for the bearer's unit. And you can take squads of 10 or 20. Okay. So that is the Zangors, which will have a purpose, I think. You can use them for all sorts of things. Holding on to objectives, which it's big incentives to do that because you can start reaping in cold points. There's definitely a job for them. You can use them to screen, absorb, and so on. I compare my Thousand Suns army to like an onion. The opponent has to try and peel away all the layers to get through to the Psychers. Bit of a problem with my Rubik Marine count. Some Thousand Suns players, many of them in their wisdom, have more of the Rubik Marine units. So if you've done that, then you're in a much better situation. I've just got a squad of 10. As it looks like, and I've always been meaning to make it into bulk the army out is to get a second lot of 10 and then maybe split those into squads of 5 and start placing my sorcerers in amongst those, have these little psychic islands moving around the battlefield and supporting each other and so on. So that looks like is what needs to happen, or just scrap all the exalted sorcerers and then just take Magnus the Red. But either way, there's a lot of painting involved, whichever option decide to go for. So that's the Thousand Suns. Let us know what you think of their rules, if you think they're good or not. My opinion, other than army structure, this is very potent units in there for sure. The army rules look particularly strong. It's all just the points you need and choice of what you're going to go for. So it's very flexible and guaranteed almost that this is the amount of points I have. I'm going to go. This is my battle plan. And it can all just be executed quite nicely if you've got the points to it and so on. Stratagems look fine. Some useful enhancements as well. So I would say all in all, Thousand Suns looking particularly good. But we'll have to see how they go on in games. But my opinion, I think they're looking strong enough. Keep a lookout for more reviews on the channel. Do check out the other ones that I've done so far.
There's plenty of 10th edition content now on the channel. If you're going to make an order, you're thinking, I'm going to order some new Thousand Sun stuff or expand your armies and need paints and accessories and so on, then do use that link. It doesn't cost you to do it, but it does help support the channel. We get vouchers, and then we can use those to expand the armies on the channel. So the way it works with the sponsorship from the Outpost. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.